Over the years, I have purchased, rented, and sold property in countries all around the world. And I've been slowly building up my own portfolio of personal residences in hub cities where I like to spend time. And today, I'm going to share with you 5 benefits that I found from owning real estate all around the world. Hi, I'm Andrew Henderson, and here at Nomad Capitalist, we help 7- and 8-figure entrepreneurs legally go where they're treated best, which means creating a Nomad Capitalist strategy for themselves that involves homes around the world, second passports to have more options, offshore tax planning to keep more of their own money, and more. You can learn more at nomadcapitalist.com. Now, I have talked before about how I have been slowly but steadily building up a collection of homes that I use to live in. I have over the years traveled all around the world and rented Airbnbs, stayed in hotels, became a top tier Marriott Elite member. And what I found from all of that is I like a sense of control that comes from owning the spaces that I live in. Even a long-term lease does not give you a lot of control. And I think that a long-term lease, if you're going to live, for example, my trifecta strategy where you have 3 different homes, it's not going to be that effective because a lot of people feel like they're wasting money paying rent on a home that they only spend 4 months a year in, particularly if you like more expensive cities, like in London, where you might pay 5 or 6 or 10,000 pounds a month just to live there 3 months a year. I like the control that comes from owning. And so the first reason is I get paid to be in control. And I'll give you an example of what I mean by this. Last year, I was in Bogota on 2 different occasions. And I like the idea of spending about a month and a half, 2 months every year in Bogota. So I bought a home there, paid about $160,000 if memory serves, and I'll pay about $30,000 to renovate it and a little bit of furniture, call it $195 out the door. So when I was there, I had a nice 1-bedroom penthouse for a while. It's about $400 a night. Let's just say over the course of a month, it's $12,000. Over a month and a half, it's $18,000. So I have a property, let's say I put in $195. By staying in my own property, I'm saving myself $18,000 in rent. Now, there are some carrying costs on the property. Taxes are about $1,000 a year, a little less. Certainly there's some costs for utilities when I'm not there, but it's pretty nominal. There aren't a lot of taxes in many of the countries where I'm buying. And so let's say I'm saving 16 grand a year. I'm effectively getting, about an 8% yield on my own money, and I'm controlling my space. And so rather than having to go and either look myself or having to hire an assistant to hunt for an Airbnb or to hunt for a hotel and travel around, everything is ready for me. And I get to be in control because I get to hang up the artwork that I want. I get to create the space that I want. I get to install the internet speed that I want. I get to make sure that, unlike some Airbnbs, I have a big enough hot water tank so I can take as long of a shower as I want. And so that when I arrive, I'm ready to go. I'm not spending my time readjusting. I don't feel out of place. I know exactly where everything is. And, some people laugh at that, but I think if you are a high-level entrepreneur, time is money. And one thing that we don't often consider is readjusting to different circumstances can be stressful. And so having your environment ready to go, having things the way you like them is important. I've stayed in some Airbnbs in really nice neighborhoods where there's not a single piece of artwork on the wall. It's just all white walls, and I feel depressed, or there's not enough heating, or there's not enough cooling, and I always feel out of place. And it's really hard to feel great and to feel productive and come up with great ideas. And so I'm willing to maybe not even make as high of a yield as I could, but I'm getting a lifestyle benefit from it. And I'm saving myself a lot of hassles by just being able to, put my clothes in the closet and have clothes that are suitable for Bogota or for Tbilisi or for Montenegro. Not a lot of sweaters in Montenegro since I go there in the summer, right? And so I can stock up the closet where I go. I can leave it. I can walk away, and when I come back, I'm a guy in my mid-30s, right? How much of my clothing tastes going to change in the next 10 years, right? The sweaters are the sweaters, the suits are the suits, the jeans are the jeans. You put everything in the closet and you walk away. So in my view, I'm getting paid to maintain control. The second benefit of owning homes around the world is the ability for property appreciation. Now, I caution people on this because I think sometimes people try and put too many goals onto a property. It makes it really confusing and they don't really know where to go with it. I mean, you need a clear goal, as with anything in life, for what your property is going to be about. But for me, I look at properties very much the way I think a lot of people in Asia look at property, which is money in the bank. Now, you don't want to use it as an excuse to buy stupid properties, to buy overpriced stuff from developers, to buy in bad neighborhoods, not do your due diligence, whatever the case may be. So you really need to avoid the gringo real estate agents and the flashy advertisements and work with local people. It's what we've really developed here on our team, is relationships with local agents around the world so we can get good deals. But if you get a good deal, as you know, money is made in real estate when you buy. I have a fundamental belief that the countries we talk about will do well in the coming years. You may not see that in 1 year or 2 years, although I have in some cases. I've seen some decent gains on properties that I've made either on my own or with other people as well. But I think over the next 10 to 20 years, you will see more and more countries have emerging middle classes. You'll see more foreign investment as some of these countries open up, as they become more well-known. Countries don't become economic success stories overnight. Singapore, South Korea, these countries took a long time. And I think that the countries that I'm investing in offer potential for long-term appreciation while offering a certain form of asset protection, that your assets are diversified around the world. And as I get older, I look at a longer-term time frame in the terms of decades. I think that the places we talk about will be proven to be great investments. The third reason is just general diversification, right? And so if all your money's in one country, in one currency, in one market, to me that doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, again, you could go and invest in stock markets around the world. You could invest in property funds or REITs around the world and accomplish the same thing. Obviously, part of the benefit here is lifestyle. But I think being able to diversify, for example, into different currencies. I can't say I'm thrilled with all the Latin American currencies, but maybe you want to buy something in Europe. If you're denominated in dollars, have some euro exposure, have some pound exposure. Maybe you want some exposure to emerging world currencies. Parts of the Middle East, for example, have currencies that are pegged to the dollar. Perhaps offer some benefits aside from that, though. Countries in Southeast Asia, the Malaysian ringgit, perhaps a bit undervalued. It's an opportunity to get into different currencies. If you are a U.S. citizen, property held overseas that you don't derive income from is one of the few things that is non-reportable as an offshore asset. And so you can diversify your assets overseas, diversify into different currencies, diversify into different markets, and really take part in those different economic success stories that I believe will happen around the world. Now, I'm not saying take all your money and invest it in Colombia or into Montenegro. I'm saying be a part of different places, and I think along that way, you're diversifying your own personal experiences. So many people come and they say, I'd like to leave my country. I want to leave the United States, but I'm only comfortable with Spain and Italy, for example. Well, if you're investing in different places, you can get exposure, and I think you will expand your horizons and be more open to doing the things that you need to do to live the nomad capitalist lifestyle. Now, the fourth benefit is immigration benefit, second residences, second passports. Some countries, you buy a property, you get a citizenship almost instantly, like in Turkey. I'm not talking about the timeshare options that are in the Caribbean programs, but Turkey, for example, buy a property, get citizenship. Other countries, like Europe's Golden Visa programs, buy property, wait a while, then get citizenship. Countries like the UAE and Bahrain, buy a property, get a residence, you'll never be a citizen. But hey, we're tax-free. And if you live here, you don't have to pay any taxes. And it's a great way to leave your current country and go and have a tax-free lifestyle. Asian countries, also difficult for second citizenship. We've talked about that. But you go to Thailand, you buy a property, you get a residence permit. And that may make your life easier if you want to spend 3, 4, 5 months a year in Thailand through our trifecta method. Thailand doesn't like people doing visa runs as much. So you just come in with your residence permit. You can renew it every year. Nothing too difficult. You have access to the country. And there are many other countries that offer the same benefits to where easier access. In times of chaos, it's better to be a resident or a citizen than just to be a tourist. We've seen that in the year 2020. But definitely the ability to buy a lifestyle property in a place that you enjoy, that you can use, that you can save money on, where if purchased correctly, will go up in value. We're not talking about timeshares here, right? We're talking about properties that you own and control. And in turn, okay, maybe for some people you view investing in some of these countries as higher risk than yours. And so even if the yield is the same, you say, well, hey, risk adjusted, I'm paying too much. Well, that's fine because you're getting potential immigration benefits. You're getting diversification. And reason number 5 is if you're looking for a plan B. Now, I have always been a plan A kind of guy. I left the US. I'm living my low tax, diversified nomad capitalist lifestyle. But for some of you, you might just want to stay in your home country and have investments around the world and take part in higher interest rates, better return, asset diversification without leaving home. And for many people that have been coming to me recently looking for a plan B, their first thought is to get a citizenship and to get a bank account. And I agree with both of those things. But merely having money and a citizenship somewhere else don't mean that when everything hits the fan in your country that you're going to be comfortable leaving. So many people say, I'll leave my country when it gets bad enough. Having money, having citizenship somewhere else are great places to start. But I think if you have at least one property overseas that you've decorated the way you want, you've got the cheese shredder you like in the kitchen, you've got your coffee maker, you've got everything set up the way you need it, you're going to know that home and you're going to feel more comfortable going to that home or one of the homes that you have when there's a problem in your country. When you're sick of paying the high taxes, it'll be the comfortable push that you need. When something bad happens and you just want to get out, you'll feel a lot more comfortable doing that rather than only having a second passport but feeling that you'll be an alien anywhere else. I think it's a great way to really introduce yourself to all the benefits that we talk about in this lifestyle and to make a more comfortable landing into enjoying them. How can Nomad Capitalist help you? 4 ways. Number 1, subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to make sure you get our new video every day. Number 2, get a copy of Nomad Capitalist, the book. You'll learn a lot of my personal experiences over a dozen years of studying this stuff, as well as exactly some of the strategies that you can use to build your Nomad Capitalist plan. Number 3, if you're not sure where to start, but you want to come and learn from my team and I, you want to come and mingle with like-minded people, learn more about our live conference, Nomad Capitalist Live. It's coming up soon. And number 4, if you want some help right now because you've got a burning issue, you need something solved, you want to lower your taxes, get a second passport, or build the Nomad Capitalist lifestyle of your dreams, go to nomadcapitalist.com and click on Become a Client.